the 30th November. It's been 8 days since the events of Horacian came to a close. After the crisis was resolved, it was announced that the explosion had rushed the palace and creates destruction were the work of Almata. However, as if to quell any unease, it was also promptly announced that Almata was no more, thanks to the CID and a number of external collaborators. With the last remaining nuclear device being recovered, the state of emergency around Edith was lifted the next day. This happened in tandem with further reports that the CEOs of a Quincy company in Atwas had been formally arrested. This was a shock to many. The Quincy company's products were beloved across the continent, and Atwas vehicles seen as a major status symbol. It was almost unfathomable that both men had been blackmailed into funding a terrorist organization. The Quincy company's CEO being the father of a famous A-rank racer added to much of the discussion as well. However, as his daughter personally led the charge on his arrest, the general public sentiment was one of compassion and concern. And her attempt to turn in a racer badge was summarily rejected by the guild's headquarters in Le Mans. Calvert's economy, which had been briefly thrown into disarray by the state of emergency, was quick to return to relative normality. Yet some things would never return. The impending end of reparations continued to emit a small degree of unease among the populace. Still, this and the culmination of events had no ill effect on President Gramhart's approval rating. Indeed, they only served to increase it. His office stated that a memorial service for Quayle would be held during December the 3rd Revolution Festival. Following that would be quite the reveal. The Calvert military's newest weapon would be on display, a symbol of a country overcoming its grief and moving forward with great strength. 12 minutes after 9 in the morning.
So that's that, huh?
Yeah, well, Melchior's still on the run, which does bug me. But the authorities and the guild have taken out all their bases, and secured any routes that could be used to flee the country. Their partners in crime are being taken care of too, right?
Indeed, the Gralsritter and Iscariot have put aside their differences for now, to pursue the gardens. Several Jaegers, including those of Ikaruga, and even the Society have also been working toward that end.
Meanwhile, Heiwei and Marduk spearheaded the effort to expose all of Almata's connections. I believe their findings, which reveal a number of associates, have since been sold to the CID.
That's quite a lot.
Man, Gen and Sal never miss a beat.
Abby and the rest of our people have been hard at work with Eisenshield too.
As for the nuclear weapon, we don't need to worry about that either. Professor Hamilton and the other disciples supervised its disassembly, so it's no longer a threat. Professor Callahan isn't believed to have made any more, and the Mafia won't be capable of making more themselves anytime soon.
Even if the one sword capable of detonating them was still in their possession, they would still need a device to be detonated. I might add that Calvert is aiding the congregation for the sacraments in going through and clearing the rubble that was once Vashtar Palace. They expect to have finished the task and found that sword together with the halberd and armor artifacts by mid-next month.
None of them can be used by anyone but their rightful owner anyway, right? I guess once that's wrapped up, we'll be able to say this whole thing's well and truly over.
I suppose so, yes. To think we've persevered through so much.
We sure have.
It was quite alright.
I'm still worried about Melchior, though. Just to me, it's strange how no one seems to have any idea where he is.
I still can't believe what he did to his own boss. I don't know if I'll ever be able to understand how that guy thinks. Not that I want to.
Psychopath does psychopathic things. News at 11. Just how it is. I wish I could have taken revenge on the last asshole responsible for my bro's deaths. But can't win them all, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave that one to the Oathbreakers people. They say you gotta fight poison with poison. Now it's time to see if he'll live up to that old saying.
Right, but at least now, the world can finally be at ease.
And yes? Are you still feeling guilty that you couldn't stop it all from happening? I am, but I'm also trying to tell myself that I did everything that I could. including for the children of Horacion. Even I can't help but feel like I put a lot of people out for nothing. That's not true at all. Perhaps there may be some who would see your actions as self-righteous, but I believe they were meaningful. Of course they are. And I'm not in the business of telling my assistants what's right and wrong either. You did what you believed was right, that's good enough for me. So you got my thanks too. Well, you're welcome, but I couldn't have done any of that without a lot of help from others. Not everything had a happy conclusion, since Elaine's father ended up arrested. But I'm still so glad that we're all able to gather like this again. Yeah. Me too. Our foes were a terrifying force to be reckoned with, but through everyone's cooperation we triumphed. You deserve a lot of praise yourself, you know. Think back, there were a lot of times I don't know what we would have done without you. We owe so much to the goddess, or maybe to our chief, having the devil's own luck. Could be. Either that or cause I made Lady Luck with my bitch. What does that mean? Will you stop, but you really can't help yourself, can you? So now we have 6 Genesis in our possession. I doubt I could have ever gotten this far without all of you, so thank you. We were happy to help. That just leaves 2 now though, right? There's supposed to be 8 in all, so that should be the case. Eight. Now each Genesis has the color of one of the elements, right? We have water, earth, fire, wind. And from the 7 elements we're missing... Yeah, is it earth or space what is lying there? So we're missing either earth or space. And then there's 1 extra. Professor Hamilton's been looking into where they could be, but nothing's come up so far. None have been discovered in any of Almata's bases or the garden's hideouts either. I'm sure they'll turn up eventually, just gotta keep looking.
So, now that we've dealt with Almata, things should be back to business as usual before long.
Doesn't that mean Rosette needs to go?
There's still gonna be plenty on our plates, especially in the short term. But it's about time you guys started thinking about whether or not you want to keep working here.
Huh. Van, I suppose it is getting to be that time. The way things are going, my primary task will be complete before much longer. I've still got other things I want to do here in the capital at least. And hey, I'm not even employed here. Wasn't really talking to you, but since you seem so dead set against being here anyway, why not go home already? Well, I would, but the paparazzi are such a headache, and the food here is so good. I get that you're a hassle, but come on, they have to have given up on your story by now. And Nina seems worried about you, so even if you don't go to your family, you should still go back to your old place. I will, eventually. What are you, my mother? Perhaps you should discuss the situation with the owner of your apartment? I was talking to you, though. What? They're still covering all the trouble Almata caused, but I doubt it will last more than a month. So unless I start taking on more subcontracted jobs, I'm not gonna need to pay out for any assistance anymore, or have a budget to do it. Van... But... I plan to find those last 2 Genesis, but it's gotta be on the side while I do other work from here on. So while a helping hand when I'm swamped would be nice, it's all I'm gonna need you for. Besides, you're gonna be loaded with student council work for a good while after next month rolls around. That's true, but... what kind of work? Oh, there's going to be some big event taking place in Agnes' school in a few months. There's no need to hurry them into a decision. As you said, you still intend to help deal with the aftermath of Almata's actions. I will remain here to assist you with that as well. The more we have on our side, the better. You're not wrong there.
I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that you should be thinking about this stuff. The Revolution Festival's in 3 days, and we're gonna be drowning in work until then for sure. Been a while since we could focus on 4 SPGs and Edith, so hope you're ready to dive in soon as breakfast is done.
Finale. For you upon your return. I'll meet you guys back here at 10:30. What you're gonna be up to in the meantime, and yes? Not much. I do have something I need to do though. I think I should take care of a software update that needs installing now actually. Version 3.62 of a Kitty engine was released last night. I was thinking the same thing. I just get going for now then. Until later. So she pushed an update, huh? Our ex-kitty sure keeps herself busy. Just know her workload on Horacian must have been nuts too. This is for the best, I think.
Yeah, just tell me what you want.
She hasn't done anything out of the ordinary since Horacian. There's still a lot of mysteries to be solved about both her and the Grendel. But those have got nothing to do with the others. Not even Agnes.
No, this is all wrong. This isn't who I am. This isn't me.
I was right all along. I found it. Seems my work here is now done.
Still, maybe Master was right that I laid that on them out of nowhere. There's still time until we need to head out. Why don't I go check on them? God, but with that I want to first say hello and welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails for Daybreak. And the beginning of a finale. Or maybe epilogue? With Almata defeated, it kind of feels like an epilogue. Hey, Servus. So what's he doing now? Sleeping? Or standby mode, I guess? Well, no point waking him up. Sleep tight. Ah, and yes. And this is Berger's room, yeah? Well, look who's made himself right at home.
As you well know, I shouldn't even be alive right now. I've decided to make the most of this chance, to try things I couldn't even imagine in my previous life, and have found myself rather enjoying them. The magazines you used to read were quite inspirational, if I'm being honest.
Wait, so this is my fault? If his hordes of more respectable students ever found this out, they'd have my head. So Ashtad isn't the uncooperative jackass I was expecting?
Indeed. He may be a man of few words, but he is an honorable, just, and determined one, capable of seeing the greater picture. Rank-and-file armed monks trust him, so I would be confident in Iscariot's handling of matters, if he were the only one they answer to. However...
We got his boss to worry about. There, Captain, right? The one all 30,000 members of the Papal Guard and Iscariot answer to.
Correct. They took up their post after my retirement, so I've never met them. I believe their identity is considered a top secret, even among the Congregation for Divine Worship, to whom the Papal Guard also answers. I suspect only a small number of people know who they are. Several hundred Iscariot monks, the cardinals of the Congregation for Divine Worship, the commander of the Gralsritter, and the Pope. Whoever they are without a doubt the congregation's wild card.
But what reason could someone like that have to get their right-hand man involved in this? The Genesis? But they're more of a Growls with that kind of deal. Actually, why are you even telling me all this stuff in the first place? I'm already like a magnet for info I don't want to know as it is.
Ha ha ha! It's far too late to be caring about such things, my young friend. Still, whether they are criminal or legal, your old friends or your assistants, I genuinely believe that the more people you know and interact with, the better. Who we meet shapes who we become. Be these relationships fortunate or foul, we are all the more human because of them. Surely the past 5 years have taught you this.
Well, I just... People's natures just don't change easily, I guess. Having you in Erastian was a huge help. As huge a help as it is having you here now. So I count this relationship among the fortunate ones at least. So keep sticking around so the younger generation can kick back a bit, yeah? I'd pay you as thanks, but I don't think you'd take the mirror. Hmm? At least let me get you something even nicer than that jacket you've taken a liking to. Anyway, we've still got plenty of time left, so go ahead and leave you be. Take it easy, Master.
There are things in life you cannot avert your eyes from, no matter how hard you try. Whether you can realize that fundamental truth is down to you, Van.
I've said my piece. All that's left is for you to look within yourself and make your decision. Now then, I need something to pass the time. Perhaps a bike magazine or two will help? A special feature? Heart-pounding courses with heart-stopping views? Color me intrigued. So this is where you snuck off to. Yes, I had a quick errand to attend to. Are all of your preparations squared away? Preparations, feels like a bit of a stretch to call them that, but yeah, I'm ready. We still got plenty of time, so no need to rush. Well, there's rushing, and then there's being efficient. Guess she's in the middle of something. I'll bug her later after my stuff's done. It's quite lovely out today. The sun feels wonderful. It's been some time since the last I made the rounds. I think it's getting me excited. I was Central Eastern and Western history textbooks.
Oh, yeah! Agnes gave me the Western one. They're supposed to be the same edition, but there's a bunch of little differences between their contents and viewpoints. It's been really eye-opening comparing them, even if there's also lots of stuff I don't really understand.
Well, ain't you a budding scholar? If you get your hands on the Far Eastern version, I bet you'd find all kinds of differences there too.
I was thinking the same thing. So, Aaron promised to give me his old copy. You know, before I met you, I barely left the village. Most of my life was spent inside of it. But Ida wasn't kidding when she talked about how big the outside world is. Even if I dedicated my entire life to studying, I doubt I could learn all there is to know about it.
Probably, yeah. Listen, I meant what I said earlier, but I probably shouldn't have brought it up out of nowhere the way I did.
No, I totally get where you're coming from. The timing is right. Now that Almata's gone, I feel like I've been able to avenge Ida's death. It sounds like Abi's willing to forgive me for disobeying his orders, too. I also miss Umi, my mom, and my siblings Lana and Camille, to tell you the truth. But I've also gotten used to living in Calvert, and I have a lot of fun at Sunday school. And more than anything else, I'd be really sad to say goodbye to you and everyone here.
Still, we're not talking about tomorrow or even next week. And even if you do go home, it's not like we'll never see each other again. If your goal is to become a real warrior, though, then I think the choice is clear.
I guess you're right.
Though you don't have to go down that path if you don't want to. There's plenty of things you could do off a battlefield. You could even try following a path more like Sylphid's.
You really think I could be like Fee?
I'm not pushing you to join the guild or anything, to be clear. Just saying might be better than you following in your brother's footsteps.
Yeah, I think so too. Still, I never even considered becoming a bracer. Is it okay if I think more about it?
Think about it as long as you want. There's no rush. And just be ready to head out in a bit, okay?
Okay.
It's made me think about what else I can do, besides just going back home and being a warrior. I think I'm confusing myself about it. There's just so many options. So I want to take the time to really think it through. Thanks for all the help along the way, Van.
You look satisfied, Katra. Pio shall assist you, Katra.
Hello, Van.
Oh, is it time to go already?
You still got time, don't worry. But damn, your drone is something. Their speech is stiffer than a hollow's, but it's wild how we can hold a whole conversation with them.
Yeah, they don't have complete free will, but they do have a networked sense of self. Zeros is the same. They're around the same quality as those combat shells in the Empire, from what I understand. The other mare is leagues ahead of them on a technical scale, but Hades knows how long it'll take humanity to make something similar.
That would be a tough ask even for Hamilton and Cronkite, huh?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking singularities here. Still, we know it's theoretically possible. That was proven by what happened behind the scenes 2 years ago. You've heard all about that, I assume.
A bit, yeah. I guess I don't even need to ask what you're gonna do once you graduate. Feels like a given that you'll be focusing on orbital drone research, or have you got your sights set even higher?
I'd like to help the professor with her work at some point, even if I don't feel like I'm quite ready yet. Still, I'd rather finish things here before moving on to something else. Working here has been incredible for broadening my horizons too, so I think continuing my studies here would be more than worth its while.
You think?
Basel has patently more in the way of facilities, but the orbital network is lightning quick these days. It's even helped me attend lectures at the Institute remotely, so it hasn't been half as inconvenient as I was expecting. Being here will also let me take part in the project to upgrade the network currently in use in Edith and the surrounding area. Though, at some point, I'd really like to broaden my studies at the Epstein Foundation, ZCF, and Reinford.
Makes sense. Man, a little boy who could only think of protecting his grandmother's home is all ready to take her work by storm. With how grown up you are, you should have just joined us in the spring instead of being shy.
What? Who are you, Aaron?
My bad, I only heard it after it came out of my mouth. But yeah, compared to the others, it hasn't been long since you moved in. If you're satisfied with the setup you got going here, I don't see the harm in working from here for a while longer. Plus you got Paulette to breathe down your neck if your health starts to nosedive from researching all night.
You're probably right. It's nice how she always worries. Still, are you sure you aren't gonna need my help after this month? Almata might be out of the picture, but the issue of the Genesis is still ongoing. And there's still a lot we don't know about Mare, the Grendel, or Marduk either. Then there's whatever Yang, Professor Cronkite, is working on with the President.
You got a point. There's a lot going on. So if I need help with stuff, I'll be sure to come knocking. That means you come knocking if you need help with stuff too. I can investigate whatever you want, even down to the color of Cronkite's underwear.
That's so random. And don't think I didn't notice you patted me on the head.
You've become very red, Katra.
You catch a cold? Let me feel.
My temperature is perfectly normal, thank you very much.
Just easily flustered. I did want to mention, don't feel obligated to shoulder my workload. I appreciate it, but solving problems myself helps me learn more about the bigger picture. You never know when that knowledge base might come in handy. Must be working on stuff for Marduk, probably about her mother. There's still a decent chunk of time until half past, so I'd better get out of her.
Oh, Mr. Arkwright.
Sorry, I wouldn't have come in if I'd known you were working. All the Almata stuff almost wrapped up?
Yes, we've been able to pinpoint groups related to them, their dummy corporations, and other illegal channels. I admit to some surprise at just how far outside of Calvard their reach spreads. But Marduk has largely decontaminated the areas over which it has influence.
The Chief of Security had a big role to play in that too, I'm sure. Though who wants to bet Thorndyke will use this as a chance to expand Marduk's market share?
I suspect you would be on the winning side of that bet. Between the war against the Empire and the Tower and Crossbell appearing soon after, it feels like too much is happening too fast in Zemuria. As other countries seek to catch up with the Republic and its latest innovations, Zyphas, assault frames, I imagine the need for Marduk's services will only expand going forward.
Makes it abundantly clear we're living in a time of big change. And speaking of, you started thinking of the next step for yourself at all?
I am but a humble concierge. Nothing more, nothing less. My focus for the foreseeable future remains supporting you, Mr. Arkwright, be that with Mare or with your stun caliber. I could do most of my work remotely as I did before, of course, but I am now aware of just how much more inefficient that is.
Gotcha. I sure wish I knew how my people love to have their eye on me so damn much. But I ain't gonna tell you what to do. We've got an equal deal going on between us. Just keep in mind that starting next month I'm not gonna need as much office help as I've been. Which is probably fine for you. Your plate's full enough without dealing with the day-to-day around here.
Well, I suppose I do. Though I would like to believe I'm making a fair contribution irrespective of that.
Something up?
It's nothing, really. I was only thinking that I might not be able to help you from next month onward after all. You see, next month will mark 1 year since I was given this body, and it's about time it was given some thorough maintenance.
Oh, right.
Depending on matters here and the overall project status, I might have to return to my former environment. In that event, I would have no choice but to revert to assisting you remote.
Now hold up there. You really gonna be okay with that?
So you have an inkling as to what that former environment was? What gave it away? Was it something about the way I work? No, I suppose there isn't any point in me knowing.
Nah, it wasn't anything like that, just...
Please, don't misunderstand. As you're aware, Marduk is a logical, impartial corporation. So long as I keep demonstrating I can provide value to them, I don't doubt they will keep letting me use this body. In that regard, our relationship is quite equitable. I even plan to purchase it from them if all goes well.
That's an option? A state-of-the-art artificial body can't run cheap, though.
It most certainly is costly. But with my salary, I think it's possible that I could have enough Mira saved in a few years. My current arrangement here earns me even more than my remote work did, too. So I would like to keep at it as long as possible.
Hey, happy to help. So I'm curious, just how high a salary are we talking anyway?
Well, I can't give you a specific number since that's classified information. But about enough to buy an Etwas entry-level sedan?
You could buy a used apartment in the suburbs with that kind of money. I don't believe I've ever divulged how I spent my savings in retrospect. I'm not sure what my job responsibilities will entail after next month's maintenance, but I believe I'll continue to explore my transfer options. They do seem quite attractive.
So you're going back to your apartment?
Yeah, I guess that's the plan. I must have worried you sick, huh? It looks like Buzz Raiders finally given up on their stupid obsession with me, so it seems safe enough to live there again.
There's been so much going on lately that I'm sure they've got bigger fish to fry now.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine. I've actually been wanting to thank you for helping out Judith for a while now. Please pass on my regards to everyone else as well. including the family who runs the bistro.
Now hold your horses! I'm the one who's been helping him out. So why is he the one getting thanked?
Because I'm sure that you just weaseled your way into his trips outside the capital without taking no for an answer. I don't know all you've been up to, but I do know that you were able to return in one piece thanks to Arkwright Solutions' efforts. And with how much I respect you as my senior in the industry, I think it's only natural for me to want to say thank you.
So you respect me that much, huh? I mean, not that it isn't perfectly natural for you to respect me, of course.
Oh, she's blushing. Never takes much to butter her up, though I'm sure our young lady here just so happens to be an expert at it.
She's become such a sassy little thing. She was so cute and polite when she first started out, but look at her now. All that success must be going to her head.
That was 3 years ago, right? Though I don't know if 15's early or late for starting out in your industry.
It's not late, but it's not really early either. I started acting at 14 myself. A lot of actors and actresses get their first roles when they're children even, which just goes to show how much of an unusual case she is. She ended up going from a rookie to a top actress in 3 years, which is just crazy.
I can see why though. I've seen a few of her films and it's interesting seeing how different her approach to the craft is compared to yours. You can handle any kind of role that's thrown at you, yeah, but she just fully becomes the character she's playing without even trying.
I didn't realize you knew your way around different acting techniques. I agree with you too. Her performance in Wolf's Requiem was amazing, but Gloria just blew me away.
Yeah, her as Sheena Dirk was something else. The media kicked up all that fuss about an Easterner playing the role, but in the end it was hard to see her as anything other than Sheena Reborn.
Boy, she's 4 years my junior and already she's nipping at my heels. She's sure not making it easy to stay top dog. But I say bring it on. I don't plan to go down without a fight.
Good. I got nothing but respect for that spunk you got in you. Real shame of the rest of you though.
You better watch your darn mouth. And while I'm at it, I think what you said earlier was pretty out of line too.
Right.
So, now that we've dealt with Almata, things should be back to business as usual before long. But it's about time you guys started thinking about whether or not you want to keep working here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Wow, I didn't expect you to outright admit it. Then...
Still, you don't want people butting in on your side hustle either, do you?
Well, no, but that's not the same thing. I inherited my techniques from my mom and hers before her, and while they might not be legal, I still think the world needs... Oh, I get you now. I don't know what your secret is, but you've got something you don't want people to get involved in too, huh? Or I guess, something you can't afford to let them get involved in.
Anyway, as two people who transform into things a teenager might have dreamed up, we gotta look out for each other. Don't know if I'm down to get caught living with an actual criminal though, so you should still probably find some other place to live.
But I really don't want to give this place up. Well, I've got my next film's premiere coming up, so I'll go back to my old place before the festival at least. I just wish I didn't have a bunch of stuff to report to Mom and Grammy first.
But enough about me. I get why you draw the line where you do. But the way I see it, or the way they see it, I think it's fine. Honestly, kinda nice to have you still acting the same around times like these.
What? You come to talk about that cold bunk you said to the kiddos? If it was gonna eat away at you, you shouldn't have said it in the first place. Looks lame when a dad past his prime sulks over his teenage kids.
Quit finding ways to call me old. Besides, you seem to have it in your head I wasn't talking to you, but I was. You gotta have plans to go back home eventually, right?
Sure do. I'm a born and bred Longport boy, and I always will be. But I've only been here for 3 months. That's barely enough time to miss me. So unless I've got some specific reason to head back, I'm staying put. But I wouldn't mind going to a few other places, like Crossbell or Arabonia. Hell, I'd even put Eastern Zemuria on the table.
Huh, look at you go.
Knock it off with the my baby's growing up vibe. Oh, and let's get one thing straight. Me staying in the capital doesn't mean I'm gonna be at your beck and call. If the girls left and this place turned into a total sausage fest, I don't even want to think about how sad a sight that'd be.
Hey, don't give me that look. I'm not after your pity, alright? By the way, your old problems ain't shown any sign of resurfacing, right?
You mean that tyrant? Yeah, nothing there. Yen can call me a reincarnation all he wants, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm as me as I can be. I decide what I want to do with my life, not some dusty old relic from the ancient past.
Huh, you're one of a kind cocky little bastard, you know that?
And what's that supposed to mean? Don't be such a freaking creep. Anyway, get lost so I can have my fun. Though, if you don't mind waiting to kick some ass on the clock, that'll give me time to go tap some ass off the clock.
We ain't putting off work for that. Just how much have you been getting around when I haven't been looking? Who died that met you, my grandpa? Go read the kids a bedtime story or something. Just let me do my thing, yeah? Got some booty calls I wanna make. Oh, hi, Van. You just wrapped up the breakfast menu for the day. What she said. No more from the morning menu for you. Don't care if you didn't get enough to eat. You lost your chance. I'm fine. I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't need to eat that much. I just dropped by to kill time until I leave for work. Also, I just wanted to say, I'm so glad you all made it back here safe and sound. I second that. Sometimes we make for noisy neighbors, but lately it's hard to rest easy when things get too quiet. Especially now that I won't be seeing my Krail regular anymore. Oh yeah, I guess you and that guy from Krail had some history, huh? Sorry. Yeah, since he helped with the restaurant stock, we got to know him pretty well. We'll be going to his memorial service, as you can imagine. It's only fair we send him off after everything he did for us. Right, makes sense. Well, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so things should still be lively around the office. But the source of the issue is gone now, so my assistants might split off soon. I'll believe it when I see it. It's a little hard to imagine they would. Oh, I was gonna ask earlier, but what about the racer? Did he stop by again? Yes, he actually stopped by yesterday, thanks for asking. That's good, I guess. He alright? I suppose. He enjoyed his meal, at least. What's the verdict? Anything between them or what? What? You don't gotta glare at me like that. Oh, are you talking about Maxime? He's funny in a lame way. Dude's got his work cut out for him before anyone expects him as a father. Good luck, pal. I'm relieved to see you're all back home safe. Yumi's energetic as ever, so you can't just leave her without someone to play with, no? You got it. About damn time you lot showed up. It's almost noon. Move your lazy asses. Yeah, he's not in a good mood. Guess I just head out and keep myself busy.
What's on the menu? Take care out there.
What'll it be, hun? See you again.
Were you talking about Maxime? He's funny in a lame kind of way. Ash, don't let him hear that, okay? Okay.
Whoops.
Okay, that should do it. Oh, Van, is it almost time to go?
It's getting there, but we still got some time. I can't believe how lifelike this guy is. Professor Hamilton's students or something else.
I was told there's more to him sleeping in the sun than just imitating dogs, too. He can turn the sun's rays into orbital energy.
Makes sense. I remember it being one of the areas Professor Hamilton was researching. Still, I know you've gotten real comfy around here over the past few months. But it's almost time to start planning the next school festival, ain't it? Is the student council gonna get real busy soon?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm starting to feel the pressure, to tell you the truth. The end of April still feels like a long ways off now, but I know it'll be here before we know it. I was able to attend last year's festival just after enrolling, and there was just so much to see and do over those 3 days. It was hard to believe that the whole event was planned and executed by students alone, even if quite a lot of them did take part.
Yeah, it's a staple of spring in the capital at this point, especially with how many people check it out. And with your current president at the helm, I can see the upcoming one being a festival for the books.
The other student council members and I are a little worried about that. So you did attend Aramis then? Just like Elaine and Mr. Kincaid.
Yeah. I dropped out not long after becoming a second-year student though. Elaine and I were in the same year while Renee was a third year. The second year at the challenge, Renee took on being student council president. Of course he did. And cause we'd known him for so long, we started helping out with student council work too. Then Elaine stepped up and took the role of vice president once the former one decided to go abroad for a while. So there you go. That's how the festival came to be under one man's merciless watch.
I see. Of course, after getting to know you so well, I can imagine that whatever you organized for it was anything but typical.
Whistle, whistle.
I'm sure Elaine was less than impressed with it, while Mr. Kincaid thought it would be funny and thoroughly approved, even though he probably shouldn't have.
It's like you were right there with us. I still remember my first drink at the after party back then too. Man, it was so good. You know how much of a sweet tooth I've got? But not even the bitterness of the alcohol could keep me from cracking a smile.
I should have known. You were pushing the boundaries of legality even as a teenager. So the festival came to a close, and the student council elections were held in May. That's when Elaine became the next president. And when you dropped out, I assume. You did it without warning, too. Without so much as a single discussion with anyone beforehand. So, how right am I?
You sure you're not psychic? It's like you're in my head.
Well, I know the average school year at Aramis, so I just put 2 and 2 together after seeing the way you talk to them. That, and these last few months have also done wonders for my personal growth. I used to be this shy little girl who was afraid to leave her comfort zone. Someone who couldn't even speak her mind to the one family member she wished she could the most. But now, I feel like a whole new me. I can walk a little further, and I've learned to say what's in my heart. I have everyone here to thank for that. But most of all, I have you to thank for that.
I thought defining my high school years was enough of a surprise, but you weren't done, huh? At this rate, you're gonna have everyone running around at your beck and call even more than when.
Oh, stop. I doubt that'll be the case. Though there is one person I wish would pay a bit more attention to me.
What's up?
Nothing. I was just thinking that I still have a long road ahead of me.
Huh? So you got to talk to him a bit on the phone after what happened in Rastian, but that's it? Yes, well, I'm used to that by now. It seems like this year's Revolution Festival is going to be a big one too. What with a memorial service and more besides. It's no wonder he doesn't have much time to dedicate to me right now. But he did say we could get together after the ceremony is over, thankfully. Really? I guess that's better than nothing, and at least you can still see him. That's true. Compared to Elaine, I'm very fortunate. I can't even imagine what she must be going through. She's amazing to have been able to do what she did. To make what must have been an excruciating decision, even if it was the right one. I don't think there are many people who could have followed through on that, brace or otherwise. I hate that the hard times clearly aren't over for her. But if you could just be there for her, I think she would like that very much. I don't mean to put that responsibility squarely on your shoulders, of course. Mr. Kincaid and the guild should be there for her too, but still. I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna give her the cold shoulder or anything. It won't make up for what I did 7 years ago, but I'd like to think I can be there for her in some way others can't. Sounds like she won't be back here for a little while though. She's got a ton left to do in Eurasian. What's that look for? Not proactive enough, you think? Oh, don't mind me. I'm sure just knowing you want to comfort her would mean a lot in itself, really. Okay, geez, can always be the teenager once I get to that age, I guess. Still. What is that? Why are you laughing? Your lovebirds wanna get a room? I didn't know you were all here. Is it already time to leave then? You might want to get your eyes checked if you thought you were seeing hard eyes. Oh, I don't know. Did you hear anything special, Zeros? Not you too, Katra. You're just making small talk, honest. I feel a little better now, to be honest. Our future may still be uncertain, but for now, we can continue to take each day as it comes. That we can, and sorry, I shouldn't have said what I did earlier. Fun. Our boss is such a little troublemaker. Don't sweat it. They say not being able to read the room comes with old age. You know, one day you're gonna realize I'm still in my prime. It's always the same with you two. Forget it, let's just see what's on the docket for today. The Revolution Festival is 3 days out, and I wouldn't be surprised if the aftermath of Almata's destruction led to problems too. It's only 10:30 and there's a lot of us, so I think we can cover all the districts in this part of town by today, right? Right. Then let's get to work. And yes, Ferry and Aaron have joined the party. Select 2 additional members. I'm away from a booth. Please come back later. Don't try anything funny. I will catch you. That's weird, she's not here. Oh, I guess it's that time of the week. She might be hanging around the church.
Quit dawdling and buy something. Come back soon.
Okay, Tyrotans. This will be the last thing we do this episode. Society. Organization behind Krail Village incident crushed. Government officials had a press conference today in which they stated the anti-government organization Almata has been fully exposed and its leading members were taken into custody, effectively destroying the organization. It was also revealed that Almata was behind the devastating terrorist attack on Krail, bringing an end to the investigation of the incident as well as a national state of emergency. The Almata organization is a mafia based in Messeldam that has shown rapid expansion in recent years. Investigators have stated that the organization had been amassing large amounts of mirror after a change in leadership led to the mafia shamelessly indulging in illegal activities such as drug and human trafficking, which it had avoided under its previous leaders. This, coupled with additional funding from several unknown sources, allowed the organization to obtain state-of-the-art weapons such as the one that destroyed Krail. However, many mysteries about the organization remain unsolved, such as why a group getting rich off criminal activities would suddenly attack a rural village. Almata was also involved in the bombing of Vashta Palace ruins in Eurasian on November 22nd, with several members being arrested on the outskirts of the city. Almata's leader Gerard Dantes is believed to have been caught in the collapse of the ruins, though at the time of writing the debris is still being excavated. If he is found alive, then he will be arrested again on charges of drug and human trafficking, as well as general and specific cases of destruction of property. He will also be questioned once more regarding his activities during the terrorist attack on Quail. As the case comes to a close, we ask our readers to keep in mind the heroic efforts of brave contributors from the police force, bracers and CID, as well as certain civilians who wish to remain anonymous at this time, all of whom work together toward this resolution. Culture. Revolution Festival is to be held on schedule. With a terrorist attack on Quail Village and subsequent national state of emergency, many were concerned that the festival would be postponed. However, thanks to the early resolution of the incident, the festival is set to open on December the 3rd as planned. Aside from the addition of a special memorial service for those lost in Quail, the event will follow the originally proposed schedule. The celebrations at this year's Revolution Festival are said to be the greatest the country has ever seen, with spending on the event already at 1.3 times more than last year. The office of the president has been directly involved in directing the presentations and performances, and word has it the Republican Army will be exhibiting some of its next-generation weaponry. Stock prices have skyrocketed ahead of the festival, with many foreign investors riding their hopes on it as well. Experts who have run sample calculations indicate the total profits from the event, including secondary effects of the festival, could reach upward of 8 billion mira, more than making up for the economic loss the country incurred last month. The announcement of the festival's opening seems to have lifted the gloomy atmosphere that has clouded our republic since the recent tragedy. We pray this festival will ring in a new year of hope for the country. Society. Heads of major Eurasian corporations taken in a string of arrests. There's not a citizen Calvert who doesn't recognize the names Etwas and Quincy. The former is a prestigious brand that has established itself in the world of Orbital automobiles, while the latter is a major confectionery brand. Both have their headquarters in the ancient city of Eurasian. Both are also headed by descendants of the elite aristocracy of the old Calvert kingdom. Yet on November 22nd of this year, authorities took the heads of both of these prestigious companies into custody. According to sources within the Eurasian police, both Edmond Auclair, CEO of the Quincy Company, and Benoit Dolty, president of Etwas, had been illegally funneling funds to anti-immigration groups for over a decade. The police also discovered that the companies had been providing funds to the anti-government organization Almata for several years. After the initial arrests of Auclair and Dolty, monetary connections between anti-immigration as well as anti-government groups by many prominent business owners and investors were discovered, leading to a string of arrests that sent shockwaves throughout various sectors. The fact that two of the greatest companies in Eurasian would indirectly support isolationist sentiment and terrorist acts by backing anti-immigration and anti-government organizations is already unthinkable. But it is even more appalling that their funding has flowed into the pockets of the Almata, the same group that committed one of the most horrifying attacks in our history. Following these revelations, stock prices in all Eurasian affiliated companies plummeted, even for companies that were not directly involved in the scandal, leaving the Eurasian trust banks scrambling to respond. Authorities are currently investigating how money began flowing from these companies to anti-immigration groups as well as Almata. It seems all we can do is wait for the honor of Eurasian to be restored through the full disclosure of these details. The fact that Edmond Auclair, CEO of a Quincy company, is the father of Calvert A-rank bracer Elaine Auclair has also become a recent topic of conversation. According to sources, Miss Auclair attempted to resign her position as a bracer as a way of taking responsibility for the crimes of her family. However, considering it was Miss Auclair herself who arrested her father and taking into account her many heroic deeds, the guild refused her resignation, allowing her to retain her position. Mr. Hazel, a representative of Edith's Bracer Guild, revealed to our reporters, "We are getting loads of letters every day expressing support for Elaine, the way she is facing up to the crimes her father committed." As expected, the people are still looking forward to Miss Auclair's future exploits. Special feature. Spotlight on Edith's 3rd district. There's one place in the capital that has shown more excitement for the festival than any other over the last few years. As many readers have already guessed, it's the 3rd district, where the gorgeous Trion Tower stands. You may be aware of the numerous special events held in the 3rd district in recent years, such as the Edith Girls Collection, etc., along with a booming Trion Mall, its massive commercial center. But do you know how the 3rd district got started on the economic boom it now enjoys? The 3rd district was restructured over 40 years ago in preparation for the construction of Trion Tower. The tower was designed by the one and only Dr. Epstein and functions as both a meteorological observation tower as well as one of a few orbital transmission towers on the continent, supporting the infrastructure of orbital communications in Calvert. Since then, the district has been the center of attention, with various shows and lectures being held at a theater constructed at the base of the tower. Around a decade ago, this theater was also renovated into Trion Hall, where an even greater variety of shows, such as musical performances and the EGC, are now held, drawing even more fame to the district. 3 years ago, we saw the opening of a Trion Mall, also located at the foot of the tower. Thanks to a unique approach to gathering merchants, the mall is now constantly full of happy shoppers. This year, visitors to Trion Hall can look forward to the annual EGC event, held on the evening of a Revolution Festival, as well as a New Year's Eve music festival, held every year on December 31st. With the Revolution Festival on its way, it seems the 3rd district will be shining even brighter than usual. Good. But that's it for this episode. Next time we start looking for the quests. And with that I say, until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.